Cognitive Bias in Parenting, presented by Michelle Humphreys for the University of Arizona Global Campus. Cognitive Psychology, Professor Corey Pruitt, September 30th, 2024. This presentation is given from the perspective of a marriage and family therapist, as it is my goal to become one in the near future. The groups of people who could benefit from the information are parents, guardians, educators, and healthcare professionals. For parents and guardians, recognizing how their beliefs and emotions influence their decisions can improve parenting outcomes by fostering greater self-awareness and objectivity. Educators, who often collaborate closely with parents, can also benefit from this knowledge by offering more well-rounded support and guidance for student development. Healthcare professionals, especially those working with families, can better understand parental concerns and hesitations, improving their ability to communicate and provide care. By learning to identify and address these biases, these groups can contribute to healthier family relationships, better decision-making processes, and ultimately more positive outcomes for children. Parents often fall into cognitive traps when making decisions for their children. One common trap is confirmation bias, where parents seek out information that supports their existing beliefs while ignoring information that challenges them. For instance, if a parent believes their child is defiant, they may only notice misbehavior, overlooking instances of cooperation. This can lead to unfair or inconsistent discipline. Recognizing this bias helps parents evaluate their child's behavior more objectively, leading to fairer responses. Another bias is the availability heuristic, where parents rely on recent or vivid information when making choices. For example, a parent might choose a school based on hearing that a neighbor's child is excelling there, without considering all available options. By understanding this heuristic, parents can take a step back and make more thoughtful decisions. Finally, emotional reasoning often influences healthcare decisions. Parents may reject vaccinations based on emotional stories, even when scientific evidence supports them. By recognizing when emotions drive decision-making, parents can focus on factual data to ensure better healthcare choices for their children. Parents often make decisions influenced by cognitive biases and social comparison. One key bias is the framing effect, where how information is presented impacts decision-making. For instance, a parent may react differently to a doctor stating a treatment has a 90% survival rate versus a 10% mortality rate, even though both communicate the same risk. Parents aware of the framing effect are more likely to seek neutral, factual information to guide their decisions. Self-serving bias in parenting occurs when parents view their child's successes as a result of their own efforts or the child's abilities, but blame external factors for their child's misbehavior or failures. For example, when a child behaves well, a parent might attribute it to their own good parenting skills. However, when the child misbehaves, the parent might place the blame on outside influences like friends or school. This bias can prevent parents from seeing the full picture and from helping their child learn and grow from their mistakes. By being aware of this bias, parents can adopt a more balanced view of their child's actions and provide better guidance. Social comparison in parenting involves comparing your child's abilities or behavior to that of other children to evaluate your own parenting success. This can sometimes be helpful, as it may motivate parents to strive for better outcomes for their children by learning from others. For example, if a parent sees another child excelling in school, they may feel inspired to implement new strategies to support their own child's learning. However, it can also be harmful if it leads to unrealistic expectations or unnecessary pressure. Constantly comparing your child to others may cause frustration or anxiety, both for the parent and the child, especially if the comparison highlights perceived shortcomings. Parents can gain more by focusing on their child's individual strengths and progress rather than frequently making comparisons, which creates a healthier and more encouraging environment for growth. Cognitive dissonance happens when parents face conflicting beliefs or new evidence that challenges their existing parenting practices, leading to discomfort. For example, if a parent has always believed in a strict disciplinary method but new research suggests it is ineffective, they might reject the new evidence to maintain comfort. Recognizing and working through this discomfort can help parents become more flexible and open to change. The sunk cost effect occurs when someone decides to continue an action or commitment simply because they have already invested time, money, or effort into it, even though those resources cannot be recovered. The sunk cost fallacy with regard to parenting occurs when parents continue with a particular parenting style or decision just because they have already invested significant time or effort into it, even if it is not working. Acknowledging this bias helps parents pivot to better strategies for their child's benefit. Anchoring bias involves parents relying too heavily on the first piece of advice or information they receive, such as initial opinions on a school or a doctor. Becoming aware of this bias can lead parents to seek out more diverse perspectives before making important decisions. By understanding these biases, parents can make better informed and more flexible decisions for their children's well-being. In parenting, optimism bias can lead to a belief that negative events are less likely to happen to one's own child. For instance, parents might underestimate the chances of their child experiencing developmental challenges or accidents. This bias can lead to overly relaxed approaches to safety and health. Recognizing optimism bias allows parents to make more realistic assessments of risks and take proactive measures to protect their children. On the other hand, hindsight bias occurs when parents believe they should have known about an issue after it happens, such as a child's misbehavior. This often leads to unnecessary guilt and regret. Parents might blame themselves, thinking they could have foreseen or prevented certain events. Understanding hindsight bias helps parents to reflect on situations with more clarity and to focus on learning from experiences rather than feeling like they failed. Overall, being aware of cognitive biases, like the ones discussed in this presentation, is important for every parent. Recognizing these biases can help reduce blame, prevent overconfidence, and guide more thoughtful decisions, making the parenting journey smoother and leading to better outcomes for both parents and children. When parents are more informed and mindful of how their own minds work, they can create healthier, safer environments for their families. As a marriage and family therapist, I would work closely with several groups, primarily parents, caregivers, educators, and healthcare professionals, to help them understand and apply cognitive psychology concepts like confirmation bias, availability heuristic, and optimism bias in their decision making. For parents and caregivers, understanding biases like confirmation bias can help them evaluate their children's behavior more objectively, avoiding overly strict or lenient disciplinary actions based on preconceptions. By recognizing the availability heuristic, they can make more informed choices about schools, healthcare, or activities for their children, rather than relying on recent or emotional information. Educators who collaborate with parents on student development could benefit from recognizing these biases to offer balanced advice and guidance, while healthcare professionals could use this knowledge to better understand why parents may resist medical advice, for example, due to emotional reasoning or optimism bias. Helping parents realize they may underestimate health risks for their child due to optimism bias can lead to more proactive health and safety measures. By applying these cognitive psychology concepts, I would empower these groups to make more informed, balanced decisions, ultimately improving family dynamics and outcomes for children. The topic of cognitive biases in parental decision-making has important implications across various aspects of life. From a lifespan perspective, understanding these biases early can influence better decision-making throughout a child's development, from early childhood through adolescence. Career development is impacted as parents make important choices about their children's education, which can affect future career opportunities. Technological advancements, like access to parenting forums and social media, may reinforce biases such as confirmation bias, where parents seek information that supports their existing beliefs. Culturally, societal norms and expectations can further shape parenting decisions, especially in diverse communities where different values influence decisions about discipline, education, and healthcare. Socially, parents may experience pressure to conform to other standards, leading to biased comparisons of their children's achievements. Recognizing these cognitive patterns can help reduce guilt, anxiety, and stress, leading to healthier parent child relationships and more thoughtful decision making across the family's lifespan. Personally, this project reminds me of biases in my own parenting journey, especially how cognitive shortcuts like confirmation bias or optimism bias shaped past decisions. I have gained a deeper understanding of how these biases influence relationships with my own children. These insights will most assuredly enhance my empathy towards future clients and the challenges that all of us parents face at one time or another. Professionally, this project illuminates the value of integrating cognitive psychology into family therapy practice. By exploring the biases that impact parenting decisions, I can discover new techniques to help clients recognize and correct their thinking patterns. This knowledge will be crucial when guiding families through complex decisions, enabling them to have healthier family dynamics. Understanding how technology, cultural expectations, and social pressures shape decision making will also expand my therapeutic toolkit, helping me tailor interventions to different family structures and contexts. Cognitive psychology provides useful tools to help parents become aware of their biases, guiding them toward better outcomes across a child's developmental stages. Whether dealing with decisions about education, safety, or behavior, awareness of these biases reduces stress, guilt, and unnecessary comparisons with others. Ultimately, integrating this knowledge into everyday parenting can lead to more informed, positive choices that benefit not just individual families, but society as a whole. Recognizing these patterns creates an opportunity for growth, ensuring that families are equipped to handle life's challenges with clarity and balance.